Hello BookTube, and hello AuthorTube. This is a later video, slanty, dodgy light, may not be good light for the finished video. I mentioned earlier today when I was doing mail that you probably would see less of me today than usual because my day has been absolutely consumed with writing. Right here on my fainting couch. And it's been wonderful. I'm not complaining at all. I am not one of those many writers out there of all kinds, including in my own critical profession, that make a big deal out of what an ordeal writing is. I don't know why. For my sins, I follow a number of writers on Twitter, for instance. They're forever complaining about writing. If it hurts you this much, if it feels like somebody's dragging, a trill symbiont out of your abdomen with no anesthesia, find another line of work. It's not supposed to hurt you that bad. So just drop it. You're not good at it if it's that painful for you. I'm sure that they come from an honest place, but I don't feel that way at all. I absolutely love the act of writing, the craft of writing, just in addition to the famous writing phrase, I hate writing, I love having written. I love writing as well. Today has just been consumed with that, which has decreased the videos. But then I was thinking, well, one of the things that I'm not consumed with is also writing related. I haven't made Preptober videos, and I really want to. I just haven't got around to it. I sort of cut you people off at 5 videos. If I get to 5 videos in a day, and I still have stuff to say, I stop and just wait and hold it over. And as a result, I haven't made as many Preptober videos as I would like to. For those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about, Preptober is the name that people have given to October, the month before National Novel Writing Month, NaNoWriMo, in which hundreds of thousands of people from all over the world come together to write a 50,000-word first draft of a novel in 1 month, which means writing 1,667 words a day. I always round that up, or try to 1,700 words. I'm terrible at math. So if I have a bad NaNoWriMo day, it's 1650 or 1600 even. And then I'll make it up the next day. But I try to do 1,700 words a day during November. But one of the rules for NaNoWriMo, I'm a stickler for the rules. So one of the rules for NaNoWriMo is you don't write beforehand. Nothing at all. You can plot. You can map things out. You can outline, but you can't write before the stroke of midnight on the 1st of November. And that's what Preptober is all about, which doesn't appear to affect half of NaNoWriMo. There are tribes at NaNoWriMo. If you know the event, then you know this already. There are pantsers, short for seat of the pants, who fly by the seat of their pants and don't plot at all. And then there are plotters who plot everything out ahead of time so that when November comes, they are just writing. And then there are plantsers, a combination of the two. Now, I've had a number of booktubers, I've had a number of friends, I've had a number of writers insist to me over the years that really all writers are plantsers, even the ones that do elaborate plotting. Maybe that's true. I know some famous examples of very famous writers for whom that isn't true. They couldn't do anything if they didn't plot every last detail. But for NaNoWriMo, where you're writing at speed and you have a sort of a hard and fast stop point, maybe that is true. Maybe plantsing, a combination of plotting and pantsing, is the best way to do NaNoWriMo. Certainly, I've had a number of people, including a number of diehard NaNoWriMo people, tell me that whether or not it's the best way to generate a first draft of a novel, it's certainly the best way to have fun at NaNoWriMo, to leave that element of uncertainty involved in your own story. I can sort of see that. And no matter what path you take, no matter what camp you fall into, the reason why I'm making a video today is because we are right on the precipice of NaNoWriMo. It's a week away. So this next 10 days is your last chance to get in the groundwork that you are very much going to wish you'd done when November comes around. If you're going to try NaNoWriMo, trying it without any preparation at all is madness if you're not going to just pants. And I've always found that just pure pantsing, where I sit down, I'm going to write 1,667 words today, I have no idea what they're going to be. I've always found that not only is that not going to generate a text that's worth reading, but it's going to bore you, which is the crucial thing. You might not be bored in the first week of NaNoWriMo, no matter what you do, because there's novelty and there's the thrill of getting out of the starting gate. But the second week will crush you if you don't have a support structure to fall back on, in my opinion. So this is a video to sort of encourage you to get working on your plot. By now you should already know what kind of a thing you're going to tell and why. What shape it's going to be. By now you should already know that, and now it's time for you to nail down what's going to happen, in what order and when. Knowing as much of that as possible before you start writing will cut down significantly on the amount of time in November that you spend hands on your keyboards staring at the bluebirds. You don't want to be doing that. That's deadly. You don't have enough time on your docket as it is, much less with this imposition, unless you have a fairly good sense of direction. My own NaNoWriMo project for this year is in good shape. I say this with a little bit of hesitation because several times during the years that I've been doing NaNoWriMo, I have had a NaNoWriMo project in October, in Preptober, that was in good shape, that was just perfect, that was ready to go on the stroke of midnight on the first of the month. And then on the last day of October, I scrapped it all in favor of something else and ended up really liking what I was writing. That doesn't always happen to me, but it has happened to me. I know that it's possible to do. But right now, I anticipate that I will follow through on this particular project, which is about devices. It's about our relationship with technology. It's a science fiction story about devices. One particular device and something that goes wrong with it, or maybe very, very right with it. And I had to think up where I wanted it to be, when I wanted it to be. I knew that I wanted a main character who was fiddling with the technology but had no idea what he was actually doing. I had to know that character. I had to know his setting. Who are the characters in his life? What's going to happen to him in the course of the book? I had to plot out what's going to happen involving him and his tech in the course of the book, or the novel, or the first draft, or whatever. And I have all of that mapped out. I mentioned in an earlier video about Preptober that one of the things I want to try in this story is a very sequential story. All of my fiction is sequential, but I mean grittily so, where the plot develops instance by instance by instance in a steadily growing, organic way. I definitely want to try that. I've done that in some fiction, and I could always stand to get better at it. But I also want to try a few other things. One in particular, which is a moral gray area, moral ambiguity in the story, especially in the ending, especially the conclusion of the story. I want you to get to the end of this story, and maybe, I very much want you by the halfway point of the story at least to be rooting for the main character. But, no pun intended, for he roots a technological device, but I want you to be rooting for him, but I also want you to get to the end of the story and not quite know what you make of it. Not quite know whether or not it's a satisfying ending. I don't tend to like fiction that does that, but I want to know how to do it. I know that moral ambiguities, moral gray areas are very popular in fiction. I am under the Jesuit-influenced and perhaps unpopular, certainly minority opinion, that moral gray areas, legitimate moral ambiguity, is virtually unknown in the real world. Weak people, rationalizing people, are very popular. But true moral ambiguity, I almost never encountered it. Maybe that reflects on me, but I don't think so. I think that there's a pretty wide gap between right and wrong in almost any circumstance. So the fact that moral... The fact that moral ambiguity is so popular in fiction, it's a fad. I kind of want to know how to do it. I don't quite know why that would be so foremost on my mind, especially since I don't imagine anyone's going to read the story that I write for NaNoWriMo other than me. But I still want to give it a try, and I have an idea. I have an idea of what I want to do for the end of it. I'm thinking that for Preptober, I might actually just refrain from hammering out that idea and wait. The ultimate pantser routine. I think I might refrain from hammering out the details and just wait and see how the ending plays out. But the rest of the book is in very good shape. I am almost ready right now to start NaNoWriMo. I will not, you must not, but I'm almost ready to start. And I will be doing NaNoWriMo updates in November, but I want to do at least a couple more Preptober videos. It's late in the day here. I don't know how shrouded in shadow I am, so I'm going to wrap this video up. It's always been my experience that the lighting in the video when it goes up on YouTube looks better than the lighting in the app that I'm filming. Maybe that'll be true here. I have to work out a filming schedule. There are upheavals here at Hyde Cottage, especially Project Harrigan. But I will be back. I'm not going to make any more videos today, but I wanted to do a Preptober video just to sort of check in with the rest of you and find out how your own projects are doing. We're getting close to the starting date. Are you just about ready? Are you just about where you want to be? Feel free to let me know. But I'm going to wrap this up for now, and I'll be back.